Derek Fisher has done an outstanding job with a very good, strong core, including Chelsea Gray.
Her first start of the 2020 season, she along with another big game, much like she did before, a career high 29 points against the Sparks in their first meeting. Brittany Sykes yesterday to help clinch their 9th consecutive playoff berth against the Dream. Here's Sydney Weiss with another good look from three. Won't go. Tierra Ruffin-Pratt sees it fall in her hands. Out to Chelsea Gray, and she's able to hit.
Well, Sydney Weiss doesn't get too many good looks like that and doesn't knock them down. One of the best three-point shooters in the league.
And the answer on the other end. Parker able to save that one. TRP going right away. Good position for Collier, the turnaround. Looking at this LA team, so many different ways to score and
close out to run her off the three-point line. And she shows the ability here. There's no pressure on her right here. She sees, look at the spacing. Boom.
Crystal Dangerfield making a huge leap, nearly plus 10 points out. Nneka Ogwumike, if you're the Sparks. We mentioned she went out. This has been a interesting set of days from Bradenton.
Remember, Odyssey is just April, the birth of her first son. And here she is out here balling, you know. And the last two games, she's played over 20 minutes, so she's starting to get her wind back. In front, that last possession, forcing that late shot clock. And sometimes shot selection has a lot to do with being able to set up your D.
With the big shot in a late game clock situation.
No, she made it a 2-point game at the end with that three that she hit after she had missed a 15-footer in the history of the league. Then Sylvia fouls. Nobody protects the rim better than Sylvia Fowles. So there's a lot of things
being mentioned with Asia Wilson, considering the two have a podcast. They've been active in the bubble, and they are right on. Guest on.
I have to check that out. I haven't checked that out yet.
Oh yeah, they had as Christina
Quigley from Chicago is a really good exit cutter. You know, cut hard to the basket, exit cut to the perimeter to set up for that three. Savvy to guard players that are bigger.
Cooper trying to work on. She's enjoying being the veteran player here. That was an easy. Carlton kicks it over to Odyssey.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you right now that inside the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, we are going to have a game. These two teams, the tallest player on the floor.
Nearly lost it. Finds Raquana Williams. Cooper drops it off to Anigwe. Well, I like your drawing.
Oh, thank you. That was very elementary.
Too strong. And to spearhead that defense is Brittany Sykes. She's the one who really brings the energy. A great on-ball defender, but nobody there to guard Shanice Johnson. Big three from Shanice Johnson.
It's just a huge miscommunication.
Cooper, the package that she brings, what she can do on both ends gives them energy.
This is just not a very good job of transition defense. No one matched up. And then Dantas comes down and gets
Here's Dantas once more, too strong on the runner. Collier is...
I don't think there's a whole lot of flash about Collier. There's just a whole lot of substance.
Did you see that?
From the weak side.
Oh, that was...
I mean, she just is a rejuvenated player playing in LA to me. You watch Nafisa Collier, just does a nice job of inverting with a smaller.
Nafisa Collier, when you look at her stat line as she brings the ball up the court, a quiet 12 points, 5 of 6 from the floor. Just over 3 minutes remaining. And how about Rachel Banham? Banham, bring it up from 3. She's scored 11 first quarter points, and since then she's been held quiet in the second period. Dantas coming to set the screen for Dangerfield. And into Dantas, and nicely
High on about 70% cutting, 30% ball screening action, and usually the screen space to operate. That's what makes the game so beautiful.
And Debbie, you wanted to see more from Demira Dantas, and she's answered as Rachel.
You can see that she missed a few games with injury. She looks like she's starting to get her groove back.
Cooper attacked the rim.
She looked like a running back.
Sees a jump ball underneath the basket, and Dantas getting attended to by the head trainer, caught up in this last play with Christina Nigwe. Range 58 overall from the floor. Chelsea Gray with the ball in her hands. 2 to go on the shot clock, and puts it up. I mean, she just loves that moment right there as the clock is winding down, whether it's shot clock or game clock. Dangerfield in the corner. The Banham again! And Planette Pearson won it with the Lynx. Katie Smith, of course, doing it with 15 back on it as it trickles down. Sims finds Dangerfield. Dangerfield won't see it fall, but Dantas once more soaring in for the rebound.
Neko Gumake would provide 3 offensive possession or offensive rebounds by Minnesota in the first possession. Offensive glass.
Chelsea Gray with the lead. Dantas backing down in Igwe, turnaround.
Second half for Chelsea Gray. But this is a beautiful assist. Touchdown, Los Angeles. And then
Parker draws the double team.
a really good recovery by Minnesota.
Anigwe going right.
LA did a great job of moving the ball, and Minnesota was there on the closeouts.
So 53-46, Minnesota on top. Crystal Danger. Just her 6th point of the night. Remember, she had a season high in the first meeting.
Following along and leading beside the players and their initiatives this year.
We have the product. And it just gets better and better. I mean, we haven't seen many like blowouts in games, and they all kind of
with the right messaging and very consistent messaging about broaden the fan base, grow new revenue streams, grow the game, be a player-led. You will. And the new CBA and all the things that she's been a part of have all been great for the league. Well, while she's down there playing post defense, guarding 4s, somebody's got to guard her on the other end, and that's been an issue.
Weeks to overtime, hitting the shot at the end of regulation. Weiss with the open look for 3, and just hasn't found her groove from beyond the arc in this game.
I mean, that whole last play by LA started with Candace is. You don't have to call the double team every time. You have to just read it.
Parker with the rebound.
Pace.
On Thompson's impact and just what it meant to see a black man and
I've seen him sitting at the end of the floor or at the end of the court. And he, anything that had to do with Georgetown basketball bench without Neko Gumake. Now they ran that play, you corner, you just throw the lob pass to the elbow, and then you back cut the other elbow with no help. It's beautiful.
And one of the shortest players in the
nice duck in by Collier on the weak side.
what she does.
It's not all style, it's just substance, it's just hard work. It's perfect timing on the duck in.
How this is a group that's just really been believing in each other all season long. They've been relentless, not giving up in games as Collier and Los Angeles. But back to your discussion, and I think you may have mentioned too, Rebecca Brunson, who is now on the bench.
Right, Rebecca Brunson.
As an assistant coach. So yes, the rebuild, but I mean, you get back-to-back years, Debbie, where you have players like
the WNBA titles. The great Van Chancellor.
You talk about the early dynasty. Her ballin' ways for Houston.
Stops though, then they can't have empty possessions moving forward.
Yeah. We've seen exactly what this LA team can do, but we have seen all night long Rachel Banham. Banham with a nice feed inside. A need for her to 18 points off the bench for Rachel Banham, 19 points for Crystal Dangerfield, 17 for Dante, 25 for Collier. I mean, up and down this. On the floor now for Minnesota. Shanice Johnson, Erica lead of the ball game, going right back to 19. Out on the break in transition, Johnson able to,
play into the fourth quarter. And some nights it looks like
Minnesota is gonna move on to 11 wins on the season. And this is a way to avenge the loss from earlier in the year. They lost by 16 earlier this month. And tonight they deliver a big blow to the Sparks.